What up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo of JoJo's Replay, and I am here to tell you about OAT, Official America's Team. It is a platform built for fans, by fans, and it's all about Cowboys Nation, baby. We got so many big-time personalities like yours truly, Tyson Westcoast from Dallas Cowboys Scouting, Silver and Blue Nation headed by Big Game James, and the president and CEO himself, Barry Gibson, the guy that's bringing us all together and making all of this happen. Go subscribe. Go be a supporter. You know it's all about Cowboys Nation and about this chase for number 6, baby. And OAT is the hub to connect us all. So I'm telling you right now, go join. Go subscribe, because here at OAT, baby, we making big moves, because OAT is our business, and our business is our swag.
Top of the morning, top of the week 12 kickoff morning, y'all. It is your boy B Jizzle, and we're live exclusively on Built Different Group on Facebook and on my YouTube channel. So good morning to everybody on Facebook. Good morning to everybody on YouTube. Hope everybody is having a great day as we wake up and kick this day off. Top of the morning, it is 10:20 on the West Coast. You know, the best coast. And today we're going to talk a little bit about some defense. Yeah, the D is back in Dallas. So I also want to welcome you raggedy little Eagle ass fans that like to follow Built Different Group and wait for your opportunity. Well, your opportunity is now, as it is fuck your team this week. It is fuck the Eagles. But we're going to talk about some violent standards because the defense in Dallas just got a key piece back. According to the DallasCowboys.com website, I've got an article up here this morning. Perrion Winfrey ready to debut for Cowboys, quote unquote. I'm bringing violence. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. After the Dallas Cowboys defense held the lowly Raiders that were 2-7 and Ashton Jeanty, the generational talent he is, to 7 yards. How many yards will the Dallas Cowboys defense hold both Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley to this Sunday? You know, in game 1 of the NFL season, the Dallas Cowboys opened up against the Philadelphia Eagles on the road at the Link and held, I don't even want to say held, because they got 3 touchdowns between them both. Between Saquon and Jalen Hurts, it was 102-20 total rushing yards, but they had 3 rushing touchdowns. But I think we're going to put a stop to all that shit. I even think we're going to put a stop to the raggedy little tush push in AT&T Stadium on Sunday. And if you agree or don't, just tap in. But I want to hear from Eagle fans this morning. How are y'all feeling knowing that Dallas just put the D back in Dallas? Huh? Come on, Eagle fans. Where you at? I know you here. Where Phil Davon at? Where Dave Stako at? Where are you little raggedy little bird brains that like to hang out on Cowboy fan pages at? Come and talk to me. We're going to talk about it this morning. That's right, Trey. Good morning. I see you tapping in this morning on Facebook. Says defense line getting better and better. Yeah, y'all remember this guy, Perrion Winfrey. Where my Cowboy fans at that been paying attention? Another key addition coming back off the injured reserve after we just got after we just got Demo back against the Raiders. And we also got Shavon Revel back versus the Raiders. And now we're getting Perrion Winfrey. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me we are going to have Osa Odigizua, Kenny Clark, and Quentin Williams all on this defensive line that just held Ashton Jeanty to 7 yards. You know, my guy, Bob the Cannabis Cowboy, called this shit, and I didn't even want to believe him. Shout out to Bob. He said that the Dallas defense was going to hold Ashton Jeanty under 50 yards, I think. I think it was 50 yards. I didn't believe him because I got Ashton Jeanty in 2 of my fantasy football leagues. And the Dallas Cowboys, up until the Raiders game, had been giving up 140-something plus yards a game on the ground. Who thought that the Dallas Cowboys defense, newly revamped defense that is, against? Nah, no, it's just the Raiders. It was just the Raiders, Eagles fans. But come on and tap in this morning. I don't see y'all hanging around. I think y'all might be a little scared. If you scared this morning, Eagle fans, just put you scared. Put SCURRED in the comments. Put I'm scared, because this defense is coming for Jalen. It's coming for Saquon. And after holding Ashton Jeanty to only 7 rushing yards, oh, it's going to be nice to see what this new addition, Perrion Winfrey, is going to do. So let's take a look at it this morning. More reinforcements are on the way for the Dallas Cowboys defensive line. If you can believe it, headlines have to this point been justifiably owned by Kenny Clark. You know, the guy we traded from Green Bay with Micah Parsons that everybody said Jerry got fleeced. Well, how about now? What is Jerry's return on his investment now? We'll talk about that here a little bit further on. But his acquisition during the Micah Parsons trade early in September and blockbuster trade in early November for Quentin Williams means a combined 6 Pro Bowls now lead the tackle depth chart. Did y'all see where Osa and both Quentin were the top graded interior defensive linemen during week 12 or week 11? Hey, Eagles fans, where you at? Did y'all see that? I want to know. I want to know, did you see that? As we talk about Perrion Winfrey returning, flying under the radar this entire time has been Perrion Winfrey, one of the biggest standouts in this year's training camp prior to Clark and Williams landing in Dallas. Now, look, this ain't no add no extra cheese on the shit. Don't you hate it when you're talking to people and they start telling you a story, and then all of a sudden they just grab they grab a big old hand of cheese out of the cheese bag and start sprinkling it across the story, just adding a whole lot of extra cheese to the story. Well, Perrion Winfrey is not extra cheese we added to the story. Perrion Winfrey had his own little buzz before Kenny Clark and before Quentin Williams. You got to feel good about this, waking up on Thursday morning. So top of the morning to everybody on Built Different Group and on YouTube. If you're tapping in this morning, leave me a comment down below and let me know how you feeling about Perrion Winfrey coming back. I'm super excited. Why? Well, because like I said, the first game against the Eagles, we allowed 122 rushing yards between both Saquon and Jalen Hurts. The Cowboys had been giving up 140 yards plus per game going into the Oakland Raiders. And without even Perrion Winfrey on the field, we're talking about Demo, we're talking about Kenny Clark, we're talking about Osa, we're talking about Quentin. 7 yards for Ashton Jeanty. Now, I get it. The offensive line in Las Vegas is trash. I get it. Gino Casino is trash. I mean, yeah, we're writing about you right about now. A lot of people are writing you off right about now, Gino, especially Raider fans, because I know a lot of people that try to make fun of Cowboy fans for being Cowboy fans. Well, there's one other fan base that's got it worse than the Cowboys, and that's the Raiders, because they are trash. And I get it, because the rook, the offensive line, all things considered, but you and I both know that if the Dallas Cowboys hadn't got their shit together against a 2-7 team and Ashton would have went off like I was hoping he would, y'all would have been saying, oh, y'all got the pieces and y'all can't even stop the lowly 2-7 Raiders. I know how y'all do. Y'all love to move the fucking goalposts. Where are them Eagle fans at? I need to hear from you this morning. Don't hide in the bush like Homer Simpson. It's Eagles Cowboys week, baby. It's up. The emotion of it, seeing Perrion react like that, talking about when he was granted one of the 53-man roster spots. You know, he had to work his way up from camp, had a great camp, had a great preseason, ended up making the 53-man roster, and here is how it played out. The emotion of it, seeing Perrion react like that, showed me 2 things: the passion he has for this game and the pain he's had to go through of having it taken away from him and not knowing if it would work out or not, said Schottenheimer at the time. I told him the reason we wanted to do it because we wanted to see your reaction. We figured you'd react this way. He did not disappoint. I mean, this culture in the locker room. Now, granted, all things considered, there's some things going on in the discipline, there's some things going on in the discipline department, you know, against the discipline opponent that I'm not very happy with right now. The Dallas Cowboys going into week 12 are number 5 on the most penalized teams in the NFL. So let me just show you better than I could tell you. If you're just tapping in this morning, do me a favor, leave me a comment down there below. Let me know you are happy. We are kicking off week 12. We are getting another edition back on defense per DallasCowboys.com. I will place that link in the comments before the show is over. But we're going to take a look at the discipline department, because the Dallas Cowboys discipline is not where it quite needs to be just yet. Now, some of y'all may be tapping in for the first time. You say, well, discipline and penalties, BG, what does that got to do with it, right? Kales with the Intels is here this morning, top of the morning. Kales with the Intels dropping that intel with us yesterday about both Quinnen Williams and Osa Odigizua being the top 2 interior graded linemen for week 11. You got to feel good about that. But let's get to this discipline department. Thank you for tapping in this morning, Kales. The Denver Broncos, best defense in the league, right? 93 penalties. I'm going to tell you, the Broncos are a penalty machine. Look at that. They are 12 more ahead of the Giants. I mean, the Giants are at 85 penalties. Now, the Cowboys are down here at 79 penalties. Did y'all know that there's been actually one team in the NFL that has led the regular season in penalties and won a Super Bowl? And then y'all want to take a stab at it right quick as we talk about the disciplined opponent? Leave me a comment down there below. But the Cowboys are ranked number 5 at 79. And under Mike McCarthy, if you did not know, the Dallas Cowboys averaged a total of 114 penalties for 5 years. That was an average of 114 penalties per season. One of those years, the Dallas Cowboys led the league in penalties. And now the Cowboys are currently averaging, well, they had 6 last game, but we've been averaging over 8 penalties a game, which if we continued on that trend, that would put us at 130 plus penalties for the season. That means more than what we averaged under Mike McCarthy. However, but does winning gloss over the fact that these teams are undisciplined? That's what I want to ask you this morning. Because if you go down here and you take a look at where are the Eagles at? Are the Eagles really that disciplined of a team? Down here at number 14 with 70 penalties, right? Now, if you do not know, I have been tracking penalties for the last 3 years. And you say, why would you track penalties? Nobody gives a fuck about penalties. I get it, but you should. Because there's this thing that I created called an NFC East penalty report. Why? I want to see which one of the teams in our division is the most disciplined. And currently, after 12 weeks, or 11 weeks rather, here is a snapshot of the NFC East penalty report. Now, I share this each week on my Patreon with my paid supporters. Why? Because every week there's 4 opponents each NFL team faces. Now, take a look at this. Dallas Cowboys at 79. Giants look like the most undisciplined team right about now, who actually took the Packers to the ropes during week 11 and almost got an all-important dub, but that wasn't the case. Maybe the referees helped them. Yeah, flags on the play. Why is it important to understand discipline and know where your team is tracking in terms of the discipline department? Well, we see, players like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens get flags for unsportsmanlike things on the field, right? Speaking of which, if you've been paying attention, both CD and GP, were disciplined prior to the game against the Raiders. They were out late. Apparently, CD was yakking at the Red Rock Casino, which is a very nice casino, very expensive casino, very nice casino. I stayed there back in January when I came down to do my legwork for the Las Vegas takeover. But yeah, they were out hanging late and got disciplined as a result. I just thought it was some more sports book hanky-panky going on, but that wasn't the case. But anyway, back to discipline. Discipline matters. Why? Because you will never hear me say the Dallas Cowboys won or lost because of the refs. Let's get some more of these comments in here and see how everybody's doing. It says, hey, Barry, how you doing today, bro? What up, Freddie? I see you, baby. Appreciate you tapping in. Kales with some more context says, here's an insight on why the Cowboys didn't score again when they got the ball back with 2:30 left on the clock. The scores added up to 49. Flip it around, and Marshall's number is 94. Oh, I see what you did there, Kales. I see what you did there, because contrary to popular belief, there was a lot of money wagered on CD getting 2 touchdowns. There was a lot of money on the Dallas Cowboys Las Vegas game going over, over the allocated points that Vegas had for them. So, again, talking about the 4 opponents every NFL team faces, the sports book and the discipline factor, the zebras in the sports book are 2 of the 4 opponents every team faces each week. And matter of fact, we got the Eagles. Can anybody name the 4th opponent? As we continue to get through this Perrion Winfrey article on DallasCowboys.com. Now, this is all per Stat Muse. If you want to check it out, I will place the link in the comments below. I am your penalty tracker. I do track the penalties because I am retired military. I believe in discipline. I believe in discipline. Become disciplined, and you won't make mistakes. You make a mistake, you fix it, you learn from it, you correct it. You don't have pre-snap penalties, which Tyler Guyton led the league last season on pre-snap penalties, right? But let's get back to this Perrion Winfrey. We want to get too far on a soapbox as we talk about stats and penalties and discipline and all those things. But top of the morning to everybody else, if you're just tapping in, we're going over Perrion Winfrey. Now let's just get to his interview here. It says, on being activated from injured reserve week 12, here is what Perrion Winfrey had to say. God is good, man. And seeing how the defense dominated last week and just seeing that I'm getting activated after a performance like that, it gets me nothing but exciting knowing that I can contribute to that. And we can just build on that performance. I'm just excited to get back out there. I'm going to be on my first live action real game NFL since 2023. I'm just blessed to be out there for real. Where are my Eagle fans at? I know y'all follow me and y'all love y'all some BG because y'all can't stay out my comments. Eagle fans, where you at this morning? I want to know how many yards is Saquon and Jalen going to total against the Cowboys. Y'all got 122 and 3 tutties. Come on now, Eagle fans. Let's play along since y'all think y'all going to run it back to the chip and y'all just think it's a win in the win category this week. Y'all just think y'all going to come into AT&T Stadium and run all over us. Well, Perrion Winfrey got something to say about that. Mike Miller, go Birds. You must be a Bird Brain fan. Let me know your prediction in the comments below since you like to hang out on Cowboy fans. How many total yards for Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley under this new revamped Dallas? Because, we just put the D back in it last week. Since you got the D in your mouth this morning, Mike Miller, good morning. Appreciate you tapping in. Smack Talk said, discipline is key, something Dallas hasn't had in a while. Thank you. Shout out to Smack Talk. Smack Talk been dropping a lot of reels over there, baby. I see you. I see you. I see you with the interviews now, Smack Talk. It's all good, baby. You know what I mean? It's all good. But getting back to Perrion Winfrey on how he maintained his mental health and focus while rehabbing. Now, a lot of things, when it comes to injuries, a lot of people don't seem to understand what players' mental health is like. When you get injured and you get taken from the game you have worked so hard your whole life for, trying to get back into the arena. Here is what he had to say on his mental health while rehabbing. Just knowing that everything happened for a reason and keeping myself locked in it for real, I had a whole UFL season. I already played 11 games. So just knowing that maybe God was slowing me down a little bit, be still, Perrion, be still. It's good for you to come back this week. Letting my body get back used to playing football for this amount of time and just allowing myself to stay in it, knowing that my time was going to come and just knowing that I was here for a reason, that eventually that I was going to be where I needed to be. Yeah, shout out to Perrion Winfrey. Yeah, mental health. As we went through the bye week, we experienced the tragic loss of Marshawn Nealon. Yes, mental health has been shoved to the forefront of the discussion, not only amongst professional sports, but it should be shoved in front of the discussion amongst humanity, especially Cowboy fans. Because nobody likes to be called delusional. But they call us delusional anyway, right? Because it's our year until it ain't, if you know what I'm saying. But getting back to what Perrion Winfrey had to say on Quentin Williams and his new look defense tackle group. dominance, man. Dominance. That's all we talk about. That's all we talk about, being the best in the world. And we continue to tell ourselves that every day. Now, you know, this is all fine and dandy and everything. And I'll place that link down in the comments below because I know y'all don't want to sit up here and have me read through the whole article because I can see some of y'all jumping off. Maybe y'all not getting the intel that you may want, but that's all good. It's week 12, baby. Make sure you wake up this morning and set your fantasy football lineups. Do that. Because I had some trouble this week. I caught 3 L's in all my leagues. Like I said, I had Ashton Jeanty in 2 of them. And when he got a total of 7 yards, yeah, both of those leagues were no bueno. Spending a high first-round draft pick on a rookie that put up 7 yards against a revamped Dallas defense. Well, now that's why I wanted to come on and explain to y'all this morning. And I wanted to get some feedback from folks like Mr. Miller who like to hang out on Cowboys pages. Tell me, Mike Miller, how many yards for Saquon and Jalen versus this new revamped Dallas Cowboys defense? Now, this is what I will say. Dave Stako, Phil Davon, all y'all little raggedy-ass Eagle fans, if y'all want to come on the game after the fact and try to thump your chest and stick your chest out, I'm going to just block you. So don't be over here when it's convenient for you. Be here when we have the hard discussion. Let us know. I want to know. And Cowboy fans, let me know too as well. I want to come back to this video after Sunday and see who really knows what they're talking about. Because I don't think between Jalen and Saquon, they get over 100 yards, period. And I think maybe only 1, maybe 2 touchdowns at the most, because I do have the Cowboys ultimately winning this game on my prediction, 33-28. That's right. The Cowboys are good for a 30-piece. Hell, we might fuck around and put a 40 burger. Especially now that we're getting Perrion Winfrey back, along with Quinnen Williams, Osa Odigizua, DeMarvion Overshown, Logan Wilson, who won the green dot during the Raiders. I mean, come on, y'all. If you don't think the Cowboys are ready to show up, they know this season is on the line. They know what this game means. They know they cannot allow the Eagles to beat them because that would mean the Eagles may go on to win the division. Because we know the Giants and all their injuries, they've been decimated by the injury opponent. Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbull. Who else? There's one other person over there that got injured, right? Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbull, and one other player I think over there has been injured, right? You look at the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels out, Debo's been out. All them, the injury opponent is real. Everybody remember last season when everybody said, "Oh, the Washington Commanders." I mean, I drank the Kool-Aid on the Washington Commanders so much. I thought the Commanders, I had predicted that 7 of the Cowboys' losses this season would have came from the Commanders. But that ain't the case. This has been a crazy season. And you can't look at me and say I'm crazy to think that the Cowboys, under this new revamped defense that just held Ashton Jeanty to 7 yards, can't beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. And if you're an Eagle fan and you think you finna stroll into AT&T and run all over this Dallas Cowboys defense, you got another thing coming because y'all only ran for 122 yards in the first one. And I think y'all barely beat us 24-20. You know, we had a fumble, a couple turnovers, a couple questionable plays. It would have been a different game, right? So I really think Eagle fans that follow me, I think y'all are hiding in the bushes for a reason. Y'all don't want to come out and tell me how many yards you think your quarterback and your running back is going to get. Why? Because you're fucking convenient. You like to come and tap in when it's convenient. You know, y'all waiting until y'all win and y'all like to come in my comments, right? But we're going to beat that ass this week. So y'all need to tap in on the Big 3 on Sunday for the post-game show. And on Saturday, we will have the post-game show up by the Cannabis Cowboy. Kels and I will be giving you the keys to the Cowboys' victory. All 3 of us, I believe, have us winning that game. And with the addition of Perrion Winfrey coming back this week, I'm doubling down, baby. Cowboys 33-28. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. Trey says, listen, I'm going to say Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark are the best D-tackle duo in the NFL right now. But what about Osa? Everybody's yelling Kenny, but Osa and Quinnen were both the top-graded interior linemen of Week 11. Now, when you get Osa, now Winfrey, Donovan Ezeraku, which we haven't even mentioned, is coming along amazingly. Houston getting pressure. The linebacker crew is getting better and healthy, and then the secondary improving is getting better. Yes. That's why Eagle fans aren't tapping in this morning. They're shaking in their bird brains. They like, damn, Dallas done put the D back in Dallas. And if we lose to Dallas, look, man, Philadelphia got their own problems right now. Have y'all been seeing what's going on in the locker room? Let me just show you a little clip to give you a clue about how their quarterback feels about both of these teams since week 1. Let's listen in to Jalen Hurts when asked about facing the Cowboys week 12 and the differences in those teams. Listen in and watch for that long, awkward pause. Eagle fans.
And this is, you played the Cowboys a long time ago. Is this team different from that game to open the season, and how are they different?
I mean, obviously the acquisitions that they've had and they've made, they've always been a really good team, very competitive team. And, you know, as a team, I think they've taken a step forward. You know, they've got some great talent on both sides of the ball. They got great playmakers, great challenge for us. So you got to be ready to go out there and play a good game.
How about your team? How are you guys different from September 4th?
Wait for it.
I mean, we won then, we win now. So from a macro perspective, I mean, what else? You know?
I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't sound like y'all quarterback is too confident when asked about facing all those new acquisitions that Jalen Hurts was talking about. Now, raggedy little Eagle fans in my comments are saying, go Birds, go, you're wrong, all this. Add some context. Use your bird brain this morning. Let me know, what did you see with your critical thinking skills that bird brains got them about your quarterback? Why did he take such a long pause? And Cowboy fans, feel free to chime in too as well. I would love to laugh this morning. So let me know your comments down below on that long, awkward pause with Jalen Hurts facing the Cowboys. And if you got it this morning, pull it up. If you got it, roll it up. It is the best part of waking up. We're on medication and stimulation this morning on Built Different Group and on YouTube this morning. So if you're seeing this video, do me a favor, press like, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, because we're talking about Eagles, Cowboys, and total yards and all of the above. Morning, Megan. How we doing? I see my green badges tapping in now. As always, if you are liking, commenting, and sharing, thank you. That's the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. If you got a green badge like my girl Shorty, I need you to like, share, and comment on the video, baby. I need that social currency. Let's go, green badges. Or you could donate some stars. As you see, I got Everson Walls hanging out with me on the wall. Custom autographed jersey with a COA will go towards top stars on Built Different Group in the month of November. Shout out to my guy, Jay Nichols, who is leading on the Cash App front. I will have a star report out today, so that way everybody can see the leaderboard on Everson Walls. But thank you for getting those reps in. Duke says, I'm here. Y'all are cowgirls. You think you know you're done. Let me ask you something, Duke. While you're probably taking a Duke watching your boy, the dude, the Cowboys fan on Facebook. Let me know, Duke, how many yards for Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley against this Dallas defense? Play along and act like you got a little brain this morning, Duke. And if y'all know another regular Eagle fan that's on your timeline, do me a favor, tag them down below. I want to hear from the raunchiest, staunchiest Eagle fans this morning. Think y'all know some ball, but y'all don't know ball. Top says, lost in the sauce, fam. Gut them Eagles. I'm with you. Joseph says, hey, BDG, good morning. How we doing? I see you, Joseph. Appreciate you tapping in, as always. Trey says, they aren't different. It's the same plays, and beyond the tush push, they struggle. They haven't evolved and improved. Same Eagles team we played week 1 will be the same Eagles team we play Sunday. Guaranteed they will run exact same crap. You can almost call the game and plays ran, I swear. Whoa, seems like Cowboy fans know the playbook in Philadelphia a little bit better than the Bird Brains do. I'm not surprised, because I know Bird Brains, they don't know football. They actually think 5 is greater than 2. I mean, it must be that Philadelphia Eagles school system out there. But Also, let's just hear from a couple of our defensive studs, right? Let's hear what a couple of our defensive studs had to say. If you're just tapping in, leave me a comment and let me know how many yards would Jalen and Saquon get on the Cowboys with this newly revamped defense. I need to hear from y'all. So Quinnen Williams was interviewed yesterday, and I shared a reel, and I'll pull it up here if you want to hear about what Quinnen Williams had to say. They said Dak Prescott has been applauding Quinnen Williams' leadership already in the last couple of weeks since his addition. Let's listen in.
You saying that your leadership already showing up in the room. He said he's got to beat you to get here on time and things like that.
Yeah, Dak is one of the greatest leaders I've probably ever been around, and I kind of feed off his energy and learn the things from him, how he carries himself, the things he say, the things he do, on coming to work early and things like that. I just try to stick to my routine. I've been doing that routine since probably my third year in the league, when I kind of put everything together, learning from veterans like Morgan Moses and Frank Gore, guys like that who kind of helped me put it. Tyron Smith was one of those guys who helped me put my routine together to come down and getting ready every single day to be able to be effective. So,
you know, a lot of people are going to miss the real gem that Quinnen Williams is talking about right there. When he's talking about preparation, talking about his work ethic, talking about his everyday routine. You see, when you got the best defender on your team leading by example, just like if you take, for example, Dak Prescott on the offensive side of the ball. Now, this is, I think, the missing linchpin the Cowboys have been needing, that balance between offense and defense leadership. I think right now with Dak praising Quinnen Williams just coming in over the last few weeks and what he's seen and what Quinnen had to say, I think now we have both established leaders on the defense, because even when Micah Parsons was here, I still asked the question, the Cowboy fans, who is the real leader on this defense? Y'all let me know in the comments below. Do you believe Quinnen is the leader, or would it be Osa, or will it be Kenny Clark? Because we got 6 Pro Bowlers on this defensive line, or 3, 4, 5, something like that. Handful of them anyway. Which one is the leader? Let me know. All right, y'all still there? I don't know. I think I had an internet outage or something like that. But Joseph Warren's tapping in. Let me know if we're still live. I think the clock is still ticking. I think I see everybody up. Okay, I think we may have got it fixed. DC4L Cowboys will be a good game on Sunday night versus the Eagles. Duke says, y'all garbage, bro. Stop it. Duke, you don't listen so well, Duke. You see, this is how I know bird brains don't have any. This is how I know bird brains don't have any. For some reason, when I put up the comments, it's disappearing. But anyway, Duke, y'all garbage, bro. Stop it. Where are the yards Saquon and Jalen are going to get against this defense? Do you understand the word that I'm coming out of my mouth, Duke? Let me know, baby. Starting stepping in, says someone on the D needs to be their leader. I believe it's Quinnen Williams. Because you got to watch what a player does, not what he says. Y'all remember Tank Lawrence? Now, granted, Tank is having a pretty good season up here in Seattle, but do y'all remember Tank? I didn't never like Tank in Dallas. I never did. I wasn't a really big fan of Tank. Why? Because Tank liked to run his mouth. And after we seen Tank leave, he ran his mouth. Now, justifiably so. There was some tension in the locker room. That was hurting this defense. That was hurting this team. And I think now with Quinnen Williams, we've kind of cut that cancerous cell out, so to speak, from our locker room, because there were reports that there was some diva-like mentality coming from the Micah Parsons camp. That's neither here nor there, though, however, right? But for the most part, I believe Quinnen Williams will be the defensive guy, because if you think about it, you got a guy up front like Quinnen Williams telling all your linebackers, bro, I'm going to get pressure. Don't worry, you're going to get to him. I'm going to do my job. When you got guys dialed in like that, I don't see over 100 yards for Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley this week at all. And so I throw the question back out to the Eagle fans that have bird brains this morning that can't seem to comprehend. How many yards for Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley versus this Dallas Cowboys defense? I hope I said it where you could hear me clear enough that time. Yeah, for some reason, the comments, when I try to put them up on the stage, there we go. We got them up on there right there. Y'all can see them on the right corner. All right, good. Man. Hey, StreamYard is really going through a whole lot of changes here, y'all. So your boy's trying to catch up. So appreciate y'all tapping in this morning on Facebook and on YouTube as we talk about Week 12 kicking off. Make sure you get your fantasy football lineup set. Make sure you go and do all those adjustments. Tonight we got Buffalo at Houston. I got Buffalo over Houston. Let me know in the comments below. Last week I had a 10-5 record, but shout out to my guy Mike Rock, Patreon supporter, Green Bay supporter, Build Different Group, 2023 Gym Rat of the Year. Actually won our picks this past week with a 12-3 record, rather. 12-3 record on a 15-game slate at 80%. Shout out to Mike Rock. Now, if you want to compete in my weekly pick pool on Patreon, you can. I'll place the link down in the comments below. All you need is my Raise the Bar membership, and you will compete for a chance to fly to Alaska next July to go fishing with the coldest Cowboy fans I know in Anchorage, Alaska. Shout out to my guy RC up at AK. It was good to see you and your son, Rokeys. It was nice to meet Lori, the helmet plug. Y'all will be learning about her here real soon, selling like $10,000 of Vorsky and crystallized helmets. Oh, yeah, big bank Hank going on over here. But shout out to everybody up in Alaska. If you want your chance to compete, get your Raise the Bar membership. That link is down there in the comments below. Get your Raise the Bar membership and get your picks in for this week and see on this 13-game slate how many games can get right. But I think it's a general consensus. Everybody's got Buffalo over Houston because Houston looked like y'all got a problem. For sure. But outside of that, I wanted to tap in this morning and just talk to y'all because I'm excited about Perrion Winfrey coming back. This defense holding Ashton Jeanty set the table for this big game, division game, AT&T Stadium this weekend, right? Be nationally televised game, America's game of the week. Eagles are going down. Y'all have seen the Eagles, regress through the later parts of the seasons. We have seen them go and miss the playoffs almost to a certain extent, right? It is getting ready to happen again. I told you coming out of the bye with this defense, getting all of these key players back from injuries, it was going to be a totally different defense. Now, I didn't think they would hold Ashton Jeanty to under 50 yards, but shout out to my guy, Bob the Cannabis Cowboy. He called that. Only 7 yards. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hold both Jalen and Saquon under 100 total rushing yards. And I'm going to give them at least 2 touchdowns between them both. Why? Because I got the Cowboys winning 33-28. I had them winning beginning of the season when I did my schedule predictions. I had the Cowboys losing against the Eagles on the opening night. That checked out. Now I got the Cowboys winning at AT&T Stadium, and that's going to check out too. Why? Because that brand new defense with Perrion Winfrey coming back. Oh, we ain't even talk about Sam Wynn. We got so much depth now on this defensive line. We're going to see if Eberflus and Schottenheimer can put together a great defensive game because after the Eagles, guess who we got? We got Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday, a 4-day turnaround right back at the Kansas City Chiefs. And then we've got Detroit Lions after that, where Philly just thumped the Detroit Lions and held them scoreless on touchdowns, that is. They had 3 field goals, I believe, but you'd have told me that the Eagles defense would have held Detroit to no scoring, no touchdowns with Sam Laporta, Amon St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery. I would have took that bet. But that didn't check out. So if you're tapping in late this morning, do me a favor, give me a like, a comment, or share. Make sure you leave your predictions down there below, game predictions, yards predictions, all of that. Eagles fans, come on, play along. Show you got a little brain or something over here. Don't be just in my comments thumping your chest. Oh, fuck the Cowboys. We ain't going. Show me you got a little football acumen, Eagle fans, today, if it's even possible, by leaving your comments down there below on those predictions. But as always, thank you if you donated stars here this morning. Thank you if you gave me a like, a comment, or a share. It's week 12. We're kicking off here on Built Different Group. I still got Everson Walls hanging out with me. So if you donate any stars, all stars donated on Built Different Group go towards Everson Walls, the top star sender this month. We'll take home Everson. That is a custom autographed jersey with a COA. Yeah, we breaking bread over here, y'all, and we about to break the bird brains backs this week, baby, because I got less than 100 yards on both Saquon and Jalen with only 2 touchdowns, and I got the Cowboys winning 33-28. So make sure you tune in on Saturday right here on Built Different Group for the pregame show with the big 3, Kales and my guy Body Cannabis Cowboy, and I will give you the big 3 keys for the Cowboys to win this all-important NFC East matchup. And y'all have a great day out there today. Be safe out there moving around. You know, we got the holidays coming up. Make sure you check on your folks. Make sure you check on your veterans out there and make sure their mental health is well, especially if they're Cowboy fans, because between the Eagles and the Cowboys, the only delusional fan base is the ones that don't know 5 is greater than 2. And I'll see you back in the gym on the next episode.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.